seriously, all small business owners, medium-sized business owners, be sure you register and come to that conference, okay? Now, a number of people, of course, who don't have the Avis, and I think this affects all of us here in the Virgin Islands, but there's a letter in today's edition to the editor, St. Croix, from the words of a visitor. And let me run through this for you because I think it's very important that everybody becomes sensitized to the problems that, visitors have, and then what results because of their experience, why, they won't return to the islands. It says, "Dear editor, my husband and I recently took our vacation on St. Croix. We've been told about your little island from some friends of ours who went there in 2006 and had wanted to vacation there ever since. We arrived at the airport and went to rent a car and did not have a car available. They did not have a car available. Even though we had our confirmation." That's problem number one. "We contacted the rental car company and complained, and we were finally given a car from another rental agency." And service. At the airport, the TSA took my toothpaste and a few other essentials that I need to replace, so that we were quite happy to see a Kmart on our way to the hotel. We stopped in and I paid $7 for the $2 toothpaste that I usually buy at Walmart. We paid $10 for the $4 bottle of shampoo at Walmart, and another $9 for the $3.75 bottle of conditioner. True, you don't have sales tax like I do in Virginia, but my $9.75 worth of toiletries cost me $26. I'd rather pay a sales tax instead of the 280% average increase in prices, for the products. We went to a hotel, DB Carina Bay, and was appalled at the room considering the nightly rate that we paid. The lack of service shocked me, and the room smelled moldy and wet. The first night in St. Croix, we went to the casino where neither my husband or I won more than $5 on the $1,000 we spent from our pocket. The next day, we took a tour of Frederiksted with a very nice woman who was very knowledgeable about the history and the area. We did notice a lot of dilapidated and abandoned buildings that took away from the historic area. We then went shopping in Christiansted. A large number of the buildings were closed up, and we felt the shopping was seriously lacking. All those wonderful items that our friends were able to buy back in 2006 on their visit were nowhere to be found on ours. We had breakfast the next morning or the next day at a wonderful place called Rum Runners, and we had the Rum Runners special. This was so far the highlight of our vacation. We spoke with several locals and asked what would be a good thing for us to do, but to no avail. No one had any ideas for us. We took a drive through the rainforest, which was nice, but only used up a few hours. While on St. Croix, we read your newspaper every day. We saw the rampant crime, not only by residents, but by your own government. We read about the closing of your biggest industry and the layoffs of your government personnel. Only having one casino is a turnoff when the casino seems to be unregulated and tourists lose all of their money with no chance to win anything. At the end of the vacation, we had spent over $4,000 at the casino and never won anything. While we think your island is beautiful, we found a serious lack of things for tourists to do and won't be recommending this as a vacation spot or returning again. And that's signed Marina James from Sterling, Virginia. Okay? But again, it goes back to service. Look at the good thing, the good time they had apparently at the restaurant, the Rum Runner. That was a good, experience. The car rental companies, I mean, if you've got people, you make reservations and you're out of cars, at least text them or email them ahead of time and, tell them what the problem is. Or maybe arrangements with another rental company, which they finally had to do, after I guess hassling, with that. And again, the prices of things that we have here in the Virgin Islands, the cost. Okay, all the stuff they took away from them at the TSA cost them a total of $26 to replace before they got to the hotel. I mean, these are things that, when you go on vacation, you want to be able to run it. You don't want to have to run into these things, and that's what makes it, a sour, experience. And the situation about the shops being closed and the buildings being dilapidated and all that, we've been talked about before, and we know, what has to be done, but, they haven't been done, in terms of Frederickstead and restoration, what have you, that must be taken care of. So I just brought that to your attention because, my friends are calling me from the States. This damn thing is on Facebook already. You understand? And it does a lot of damage. So people who read, something like this and say, well, we got choices. It's not going to be St. Croix, and you find out why, okay? So I would say, the residents of St. Croix, get together and really put the act together. All those people with businesses or what have you, everybody's got a responsibility. And every entity on the island, as it does here on St. Thomas, play a role. Taxi drivers, hotel accommodations, shop owners and the shop, personnel, the restaurant, service, the whole 9 yards. If you have a sour experience, you're not going to come back. And that's why everybody's got to be part of, this thing we call tourism. We are doing very well considering, the situation in the United States. There's no question about that, right? Here I can talk, clearly for St. Thomas. And it's very important that everybody remembers that. I mean, that's a perfect example of one couple who wanted to come here because friends in 2006 had a great time in St. Croix. They said, okay, we want to go there 6 years later, and this is what the results. They will never come back. And that's why...
Tourism is why these isles have thrived from early days, white sand and sea. Tourism is history, culture, nature, and beauty. Tours and hospitality. Products, foods, and attitude, cleanliness, promptness, and safety. Tourism needs all are we. So let's start. Do your part. Tourism.
A message from the Department of Tourism.
Okay, we can't emphasize that enough. Okay? It's very important because without that, you think we're up a creek without a paddle now? You wait till you hear the rest of the story.